It was too good to be true. She seemed to be the perfect partner. And then within a year and a half, she had become this another person almost.
This morning, we're looking back at Johnny Depp on the stand, the good, the bad, and the shocking from his 4 days of testimony, including his first impressions of Amber Heard.
I'm not some maniac who needs to be high or loaded all the time.
Johnny Depp delivered his version of his history of drug and alcohol use, calling Amber Heard's account grossly embellished. It's all ahead this hour. Looking back at Johnny Depp on the stand right here next on Court TV Live. Good Thursday morning and welcome to Court TV Live. I'm Ted Rollins, glad to have you along with us. Today we are, well, right now we're all counting down until Monday morning when court resumes in Fairfax, Virginia, and Amber Heard is back on the witness stand to continue first her direct and then that highly anticipated cross-examination. So today and tomorrow, to get us ready, Court TV is looking back at what we've seen so far. First, with Johnny Depp's testimony, we've cut out all the sidebars, the pauses, the lulls, the boring stuff, so we can go back, catch up, and watch all of the pivotal moments. Some of them you may have missed. I know a lot of you have watched every single bit of this trial, but we've missed a few things here and there. So we're going to take care of that today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to do the same thing with Amber Heard as we wait for the dramatic conclusion of her testimony starting on Monday. With us in studio this morning to watch along with us, trial attorney and criminal defense attorney Dina Dahl, practices in Los Angeles. Great opportunity for us. The jury doesn't get to do this, but we do. What are you going to be listening for as we listen to Johnny again?
You know, to see whether or not he did trip up at all and we just maybe didn't catch it the first time. He was really an excellent witness, both on direct and both on cross. We can see that with how the public has perceived him. But now we get to maybe take a closer look. Was there anything there that maybe might trip him up?
Yeah, and differences between what he and Amber have said. Depp took the witness stand on day 5 of this trial. And this was the beginning of what would be 4 days. He spoke softly and uninterrupted for long stretches while facing direct from his attorney, Camille Vasquez. During the first line of questioning, Johnny Depp started with intimate memories about his own childhood.
Can you please tell the jury why you're here today?
Yes. About 6 years ago, Ms. Heard made some quite heinous and disturbing, brought these disturbing criminal acts against me that were not based in any species of truth. It was a complete shock that it just didn't need to go in that direction, as nothing of the kind had ever happened, though the relationship, there were arguments and things of that nature, but never did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life. And so at the time, because the news of this, her accusations had sort of permeated the industry and then made its way through media and social media, became quite a global let's say, quote unquote, fact, if you will. And since I knew that there was no truth to it whatsoever, I felt it my responsibility to stand up not only for myself in that instance, but stand up for my children, who at the time were 14 and 16, and so they were in high school, and I thought it was diabolical that my children would have to go to school and have their friends or people in the school approach them with the infamous People magazine cover with Miss Heard with a dark bruise on her face. And then it just kept it kept multiplying. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. So it was my responsibility, I felt, to not only attempt to clear my name for the sake of, well, for many reasons, but I wanted to clear my children of this horrid thing that they were having to read about their father, which was untrue. And also, after many years of being in this industry, at the time it was I'd probably been in the industry 30 plus years, 35 years. Never had any problems, anything like that. And I had met many people over the years, many of the people, and had the opportunity to talk to those people and to even give advice to these people. And I'm not, my goal is the truth. My goal is the truth because it killed me that people that I had spoken with, that I had met with over the years, who maybe were in a not such a great position and they needed advice, and I gave them the best advice I could. All I could think of was that those people would think that I was a fraud and that I had lied to them.
What about your father? What was he like?
My father was a very kind man. In fact, my father's still alive. He's a very kind man. He's a very quiet man. In fact, he's very shy. Not a confrontational person in any way. And when Betty Sue, my mother, would go off on a tangent toward my father, and of course in front of the kids it was no matter to her. He amazingly remained very, very stoic, and never, as she was rationing him with horrible things, he stood there and just looked at her while she delivered the pain, and he swallowed it. He took it. there was never one moment, never a moment when my father lost control and attacked my mother or hit my mother or even said a bad thing to my mother. The things that I witnessed were, there were a couple of times when it got too far that I could see his eyes welling up as he was staring at her, saying nothing. And then the most that he would do is he would punch a wall. I once saw him punch a wall and shatter his hand because it wasn't drywall. It was proper concrete and steel wire and rebar and things of that nature. And but still, never touched her, never argued with her. He remained a gentleman. And to me, as a 5-year-old boy, I kept thinking to myself, I kept wondering why does he take it? How does he take this? And why doesn't he leave her? But he didn't, you know. He was able to maintain his calm and his composure. He was able to maintain his relationship with his children. He was a good man. He is a good man.
How did your experiences observing your parents as a child affect your approach to your relationship with Miss Heard?
Well, in the beginning of my relationship with Miss Heard, there was, from what I recall and what I remember, she was it was as if she was too good to be true. She was attentive, she was loving, she was smart, she was kind, she was funny, she was understanding, and we had many things in common, certain blues music and, well, music, literature, things of that nature. So for that year or year and a half, it was amazing. There were a couple of things that, I don't know, stuck in my head that I noticed that I thought might be a little bit of a dilemma at some point. For example, I worked quite a lot, and when I would come home from work, I would come in the house or the hotel, and she would sit me down on the couch and give me a glass of wine and take my boots off, set them to the side, and I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. I just never thought I just never experienced that before. And it became a regular thing that she did, this kind of routine. And I remember one night I came home from work, and I think she was on the phone or something, or busy. She was doing something, and so I sat down on the couch and I took my boots off, and suddenly Miss Heard approached with this look on her face that she just said, "What did you just do? What did you do?" I said, what do you mean?" "You took your boots off." I said, "Yeah, yes, I did. You were busy, you know." No, that's my job. That's what I do. You don't do that. I do that." "Okay, all right then." And then she said, "Let me get you a glass of wine." And she brought me the glass of wine. But I did take pause, of course, at the fact that she was visibly shaken or upset that I had broken her rules of routine. I thought that strange. And then once you notice something like that, then you start to notice other little tidbits and things that come out. And then within a year and a half, she had become this another person almost.
All right, we need a break. Coming up, Johnny Depp tells the jury when he was first introduced to drugs as a child and reveals his struggles with addiction. We're looking back at Johnny on the Stand. Stay with us. We've been listening to the first days of Johnny Depp on the stand in his trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard. We're giving you a chance to get caught up on the moments you may have missed. Testimony in the trial, of course, resumes Monday. That's when Heard will be back on the witness stand to finish direct and then face cross-examination from Depp's legal team. We'll bring that to you live starting 9 a.m. Monday. We'll be on the air actually at 8 a.m. Testimony at 9. When Depp was on the witness stand, he didn't shy away from revealing some very personal details, including his first encounter with drugs as a child.
The jury's heard quite a bit from Ms. Heard's side about your drug and alcohol use, but I'm sure they'd like to hear from you. So could you please just tell them about your history of substance use?
Certainly. Again, this goes back to when I was a young boy. Excuse me. At about the age of, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, I can remember vividly my mom telling me to go get her nerve pills, you know, out of her purse that was hanging on the back of the door. So I'd go get the nerve pills and I'd bring her the nerve pill. She'd take it, and you know, after a few years, you start to notice. Well, you start to think about nerve pills. And then she seemed to calm down after she took those nerve pills. So when I was 11 years old, I wanted to calm down, and I didn't know how to. So I'd bring my mom her nerve pill. I would walk away, and I would take one myself to escape caring so much, feeling so much, to escape the chaotic nature of what we were living through. So that was the beginning when I realized that nerve pills calm the nerves. It's a pretty young age to do that. I can't say that I'm proud of admitting to that, but I have to say that I knew not what else to do. I knew nothing else that I could do. So as we were all growing up, there was always those kids who would say, let's party. Let's go party. I want to party. I've never used the word party in my life. I've never taken any substance for a party. I have taken these substances over the years, on and off, to numb myself of the ghosts, the wraiths that were still with me, and from my youth. So I needed, everything. It was essentially just self-medication. One of those get me out of here moments, and where you want to escape from is your own brain, your own head. I am not some maniac who needs to be high or loaded all the time. In fact, in Australia, from before Australia and in Australia, I had been off of alcohol for, I believe it was about 18 months. Roxycodone, or Roxycontin, which is it's an opiate. It's I think oxycodone has the opiate and then some pain, like paracetamol or something, and then the Roxys are just the opiate, as far as I remember. And when I was working on Pirates 4, and there was a scene in which I had to grab this large gold and red, stately gilt chair, pick it up and throw it, chuck it out this big giant window. And so I did it, and as I swung around to throw the chair out the window, I felt this immediate electricity from the bottom of my spine down my left leg, and it was like an electricity that burned. So I had obviously it was sciatica, so I had obviously pinched something, done something. So I saw a chiropractor or a kine or whatever. I saw chiropractors, and to no avail. Then I saw a doctor, and the only pain medication that she recommended and prescribed to me was Roxycodone. And there was a part of me that was a little bit worried, just in a sense that I know I've witnessed friends and people over the years who've had problems with heroin, and I didn't want to get bit by that snake. And I started taking the Roxys, and I was bit by the snake. And then before you know it, that monkey is on your back to stay. And it's not like you take those pills to get high. You take them to, once the addiction has grabbed hold of you, you're not taking those pills to get high. You're taking those pills to get well, or to get better. Because if you're without the pill, your body will start to go into various you'll withdrawals. And so I was on the Roxy's for a number of years, 4 or 5 years, I think, maybe more, I don't know. But the key was that if you take 2, you will be what they call on the knot. You will be that. You will just drop into sleep. So yes, I didn't like being dependent on these pills. I didn't like being dependent on a drug that you'd take only so you wouldn't get withdrawals. That's what it becomes. It's like a junkie. The reason why so many, well, now there's a huge fentanyl problem, but the reason why junkies generally, why they end up overdosing, is because they're looking for the first high again. And you don't get that. You don't get your first high again. So what do? You up the stakes and you put more, you take more. And that's what makes that's what makes things go dark for them. Because they overestimated the amount that their body could tolerate, and they go blue and they die.
Johnny Depp talking about his drug addiction in studio with us, watching along with us, Dina Dahl, criminal defense attorney out of Los Angeles. Dina, this he takes it head on and takes you into that crazy world, but it is a huge part of this trial, his drug use and alcohol.
Yeah, I almost think that Amber Heard's team emphasizes it too much, because it seems like they're trying to make the connection that if you're a substance abuse user, then you're going to be a domestic abuse person. And I think that turns off a lot of people. I mean, not only the public, but the jury too. People are familiar with substance abuse. That story about the opiate is a common story. A lot of people either know somebody who's had a problem or dealt with it, and they know that they could have somebody very drunk or high and not go and physically abuse their significant other. So that connection too much, I think, might be turning people off. I can see maybe Amber Heard's team saying, well, he was just forgetting. He was in a blackout. He just forgot it. You know, we'll see if they try to say that or not.
Yeah, that's the one needle that they could potentially thread to get to a juror who believes that they believe Johnny didn't intentionally hit her, but maybe he was blacked out. Look at all the drugs. All right, still ahead, Johnny Depp tells the jury about falling in love with Amber Heard and how she seemed so perfect. That's next.